What's up, Pittsburgh? I'm just making this video. I was going to make it last night, but I thought I might have been getting sick again. But luckily, if I was sick, that it was just a one-night thing. And now I am feeling better, obviously. For the most part, little tickle in my throat today, but I already feel a lot better than I did last night. So I'm going to make this video. I will try to keep it shorter rather than later, but I'll probably rant and ramble about something. So listen to my points, and you can feel free to comment. It is about the Steelers, and I'll get to them in a minute. But first, I do want to say that we are getting close to our 200th video, and also on Amazon, I ordered a few more DVE CDs, so that means after Christmas, I'm going to start uploading the oldies again. I'll rip them into my computer, as we said in the old school days, and then I will take the MP3s, and then I will obviously translate them and do my easy video magic and make it into the videos you've seen and enjoyed. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I want to make another 200th video. I think what I'm going to do this time is I'm just going to celebrate the success I've had on this channel, as I've had so many awesome people subscribe to it. It's awesome, and I want to thank all of you who subscribed, and I can't thank you all enough. I don't care if it's to watch these football rants, or if it's all of you Pittsburghers who like the Jim Crenn, Randy Bauman jokes, or now I've even gone to a couple of Mark Maddens. I had a funny one about Hostess. I mean, only people in Pittsburgh will understand why that was funny, and I loved it, and I had to upload it because I went into this channel doing comedy, and that's what I'm still going to continue to do. So for my 200th video, I think I'm just going to celebrate the success, and just give you some stats and figures on my channel and how it is doing. So that in mind, let's get going. Now, basically, when it comes to the Steelers, as controversial as this is, they're done. Okay, the Steelers are done. And I know there are still a lot of people out there that are drinking Kool-Aid. And actually, on this particular issue, there are some Steeler fans drinking the positivity Kool-Aid on one polar side, and then there are others on the other side, the negative side, that are drinking Kool-Aid, blaming people that shouldn't be blamed for what's going on right now. Okay, bottom line is that game in Cleveland was pitiful. Okay, that was all around pitiful. And for a team, okay, the Steelers have won 6 Super Bowls. Okay, 6 Super Bowls. That is more than any other team in the league, okay? That only changes if you look at NFL championships as a whole. There, the Green Bay Packers lead. But when it comes to just Super Bowl wins, Super Bowl titles, since Super Bowl I back in 1969 or 8 or whatever year it was, the Steelers have the most with 6. And we've had some teams that suck too, okay? And I remember some of those teams that sucked too. Okay, like the Cordell Stewart years of the late 90s. The Tommy Maddox year when we went 6-10. The Kent Graham year. I mean, we did go to 9-7, but Kent Graham sucked ass. We've had some terrible quarterbacks. Well, and let me rephrase that, because I don't think Cordell was to blame for that. I think he was unfairly blamed. But I mean, we've had some bad. I mean, we had a couple of bad years under Cordell and Cowher, and I think a lot of that had to deal with Cowher and how he utilized Cordell Stewart. I don't think it was Cordell Stewart's fault, and I think he took a lot of the blame. So I just want to backtrack and say that wasn't Cordell's fault. That was Cowher's fault. But still, okay, those were bad years. Tommy Maddox stunk. Kent Graham stunk. Okay, we've had some bad teams. Okay, we have bad teams after winning the Super Bowl too. How we just totally underperformed some of those games. But I don't think I've ever seen a performance as bad as the one in Cleveland. I would be hard pressed to find a game, and I've been watching the Steelers since the middle '90s, probably, maybe even the early '90s, when I was just a little tiny kid. When I was like not 2, but I was like 4 or 5 years old, I started watching the Steeler games, and I have watched the Steelers ever since. And I've seen some bad games, and even when we had good teams. Neil O'Donnell throwing right to Larry Brown in the Super Bowl. That game sucked. But I don't think I've seen any game that was nearly as bad as this. This game sucked. And, I mean, the 8 turnovers are inexcusable. And there are some people in the Pittsburgh media that want to excuse this and say, well, if only Ben Roethlisberger played in this game, we would have won. Bullshit. If you fumble the football 5 times, okay, 5 times, you're not going to win. Ever. And Batch, okay, he threw, and arguably one of those interceptions wasn't his fault, because Mike Wallace gave up on that play. And by the way, Mike Wallace, he has to go, okay? And I was impressed with that slant pattern he did against the Giants. But other than that, he had a couple of okay games this year, but other than that, he doesn't deserve the money he wants. So at the end of the year, I hope we cut his ass, because he's not worth it. Okay, this guy is not worth it. All right, so get rid of him. Goodbye, adios, sayonara. Okay, there is no reason to put up with that. And by the way, he was demoted too. Thank God. Okay, we're at least starting somewhere. Getting some discipline into this team, which I think is Tomlin's biggest problem. I'll get to Mike Tomlin in a minute. Okay? But, I mean, Batch had a bad game, okay? He wasn't good at all, okay? I'm just saying, okay? Even if Roethlisberger was in that game, we would have lost with the way we were putting the football on the ground, okay? 5 of the 8 turnovers committed were fumbles, okay? Even if Ben was there, we would have fumbled the football anyway. Because we do like we always do. Play down to the opponent. Only this time, we played worse than the opponent. I almost want to say we deliberately played worse than the opponent. I don't know how you excuse that. How do you excuse the 5 fumbles? How do you excuse the turnovers, the 8 turnovers? That's just pathetic play. I mean, even if Roethlisberger was in there, we still would have fumbled the football 5 times and lost. Okay? There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. And anyone who's going to come on here and say that only if we have Roethlisberger would win, get the hell out of here. Because you don't know nothing about football. And you don't know the basics about football if you say that. Because the basics of football are this. If you turn the football over, you lose. About 9 times out of 10. And if you're -4 in the turnover difference, you're going to lose. Best bet. And if you count the Batch interception, which really wasn't his fault, the other 2 were his fault, but the third one that wasn't his fault, then that's a -5. How many teams win with the -5 turnovers? What a joke. Okay, this was a joke. Well, the entire game was a joke. And the fans deserve better. Okay, because I will tell you what, I watched those Pittsburgh teams since I was 4 or 5 freaking years old. And I know a lot of people who are the same boat. And we travel for this team. Look at the games. Okay, you see terrible towels waving in those road games. Okay, I think the only team that can argue the case about the best football fans in the country would be the Packers. Okay, the Packers and the Steelers have the best football fans in the country. Without a doubt. We got the best fans. Us and the Packers. We deserve better than that. That was a disgrace. What a disgrace. And 8 turnovers. I don't know how you recover from that. And that's why I say we're done. Okay, mathematically we're not. Alright, so I guess we still can get in as the 6th seed. But it ain't happening, because psychologically, they're done. Psychologically, in my mind, they're done. If you lose to Tennessee, Oakland, in Cleveland, all in the same year, you're done. You're not going anywhere, and you don't deserve to get in anyway. Okay, I mean, that's how disgraceful that was. That just makes me sick. Game makes me sick. I have no words for that. And the only positive about the game is Lawrence Timmons is starting to come on their shape. And the defense in general is starting to play a lot better than what it was at the beginning of the year. And I got to give Dick LeBeau and that defensive unit credit, because as I have trashed them the past couple of years, excuse me, I've trashed them the last couple of years, but they're getting the job done now on defense. The last few weeks they've been playing good on defense. Okay, we have the #1 defense in the NFL, and amazingly, we're not going to make the playoffs because of it. Okay, because here's what's going to happen. We're going to play at Baltimore, that's a loss. We're going to play against San Diego at home, that's a loss. At Dallas, that's a loss. Cincinnati, that's a loss. We might be able to beat Cleveland Week 17 and finish on a positive note. But my guess is we're going 7-9, folks. That's what our team's going to be, 7-9. As I don't see us winning any of those games. Any. Ben or no Ben. So if I was Ben, take a deep breath, step back, and take your time to heal. Because we need you in the long run. We need you next year. We need you healthy. Because this, sorry excuse for a team ain't going anywhere. 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 Nowhere. And if you lose to teams like this, you don't deserve to go to the playoffs. And you're probably not going to go to the playoffs. We've seen this time and time again from them. How we've lost games to winnable teams. And how we missed the playoffs as a result. Okay, that's what's going to happen. It seems like we have one of these freaking games every year. But this time it really takes the cake, because we didn't have 1, we didn't have 2, we had 3 of these. Where he laid goose eggs on the football field. What a disgrace. Okay, and I'm not going to yell too much because it's not worth it. I have the tickle in my throat. But yeah, the Steelers are done. Okay, stick a fork in them, they're toast. So therefore, if you have a team, if any of you Steeler fans have a team that are going to probably go to the playoffs that you want to see win, root for them. And hope they win. Hope they go to the Super Bowl. Go for them until the entire end, because this team ain't going anywhere. Anywhere. They're not going anywhere. Okay, and like I said, we have these polar opposites here. Like I said, even on the negative side, the people that are saying Tomlin needs to be fired after this, that is BS. Now that said, and I do want to say that I think Kevin Colbert should be fired. I call him Kevin Colbust because he's a bust. I think he needs to be fired. Okay, Colbert needs to go. I've said that for a few years now, and everyone shrugged me off. But he has made bad move after bad move in the drafts these past few years. It's a case of what have you done for me lately, and what he's done for us lately is nothing. So he needs to go. And the Rooneys are overrated. Art Rooney II is overrated for sure. Dan Rooney's probably overrated too. It was Art Rooney who got us the Super Bowl rings. The four of the 6. Which is like, I don't even know, it's like 60-some%. So 60-some% of the Super Bowl rings were done by Art Rooney. The main Art Rooney, not this Art Rooney II fraud or this Dan Rooney. I mean, both of them are overrated. They are overrated owners. Okay, and that's controversial. A lot of people won't like it, but it's the truth. It is a fact. But that said, Tomlin should not be fired because of one bad game. Okay, because Cowher had a lot of bad games too, and we tried to run his ass out of town for years. And eventually he got the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 40, he got it done. So for people who say Tomlin should be fired after one game, what in the hell are you talking about? Okay, now yes, I think his discipline is lacking. I think he is mediocre. I have said this. But at the same time, we don't do business that way. We don't fire anyone off a knee-jerk reaction. Okay? That's what other teams in the league do. That's not what we do here in the Steel City. Okay? So you need to get over that. Tomlin is going nowhere. Give him a chance. I think he's earned his contract. He has won games with us. Okay? He has gotten us to winning seasons so far. We haven't had a losing season yet under his management. So, yeah, okay. The talk's nonsense, okay? It's all nonsense, all right? But that said, Colbert needs to go because he's screwed the team over for too long, and we need to get rid of his ass. And also, Dan and Art Rooney II aren't what everyone cracks them up to be. Okay, they're not that good. Okay, they've only gotten, I forget how many Super Bowls, but Art Rooney, I say the original Art Rooney, the first Art Rooney, is responsible for 4 of them. Okay, because he got us the team. I mean, in the 70s, he drafted Joe Green, or he made them draft Joe Green, and then you had the Post-Gazette, or whatever it was, saying Joe who, like, who is this guy? And then he turns out to be the best Steeler ever in our franchise history. So I give him a lot of credit. Dan and Art II haven't lived up to the hype. But that said, they own the team, so we can't do nothing with them unless you want to go with pitchforks, and I do not recommend to do that, because you will go to jail. Okay, so don't do that. But, yeah, okay, so, yep, I know I got off on a rant. Probably wasn't my best video, because I'm still, a little tickle in my throat, and I'm just out of energy this week. But yeah, it is done. It is over. It is finished. The Steelers are done. Okay? They are done. They're not going to the playoffs. And anyone who thinks that, get over yourselves. Okay? Because it's not happening. Not happening. Okay, they will lose at Baltimore. They will lose against San Diego. They will lose at Dallas. And they will lose against Cincinnati. And then that's going to do them in. The game against San Diego will do them in. That's when it's officially, the writing will be on the wall. But that said, that's all I have to say. Like I said, want to argue the points, you can. But yeah, it is over. I will watch them death do us part. The only game I didn't watch was that game at home against the Ravens. I probably should have, because we actually would have had a chance, but I ended up being busy that game anyway. But I will watch them this weekend, even though we're going to get killed in this game. I wouldn't be surprised if it gets to be 50-0, the way we played at Cleveland. But I'll still watch. I'll still suffer. And I will go through the entire way. And I'll watch every single loss that we get the rest of the year. But that said, we're done. And therefore, you got to get your second team ready. That will be there in the playoffs. Get them ready. Get that backup ready, because we do have a chance if we cheer for a second team. Or you don't have to cheer for anyone. You just sit back and enjoy the football, because the Steelers will be on the outside looking out this year. 100% guarantee. Okay? No doubt about it. They're out. They're done. So, that's it. I will put more videos out later. 200th video coming soon. And my 199th coming soon as well. So, for now, have a good one, everyone.